Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aroa, and in this video I'm going to share with you 5 lessons I've learned in 2024. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first lesson I learned in 2024 is to take time for me. So how important it is to take time to get to know you, to be with yourself, to try to develop a relationship with yourself that's positive, nurturing, and caring. Sometimes we spend so much time worrying about what we need to do. Who are we going to hang out with? Hanging out with your friends, your boyfriend, your partner, always being with someone. And it's so important to spend time on your own so that you can reflect on your own actions, so that you can reflect on your goals, your ambitions, so that you can take care of yourself and have a good relationship with yourself. Having a positive relationship with yourself is going to help you to not only discover yourself in more depth, but also make sure that everything around you goes on the right direction. So when you have a strong relationship with yourself, you're going to pick better friendships. You're going to find friends that are more supportive, more caring, more loving, because you're coming from a space of self-awareness, self-love, and self-validation. So you're not going to fall that easily into toxic relationships, whether it is with a friend or with a partner. So having a life where you're able to spend time on your own is extremely beneficial, and one of the most important lessons that I've learned in 2024. In fact, in this year, I haven't necessarily made plans to socialize every single weekend. Instead, some weekends I used to make plans to socializing, and other weekends I decided to just stay in, to take care of myself, to work on my ambitions, to work on my goals, to also do some journaling, meditation, self-awareness, and inner work. This self-love practice and spending time on my own, doing things by myself, has completely changed my life, because now I feel comfortable being on my own. I'm not running away to be with someone else constantly. It means I am more picky about who is around me, and I have stronger friendships and better romantic relationships. So learn how to take time for you. Not always make plans to socialize, but spend some weekends on your own, doing your stuff, taking care of yourself. And if you develop the practice of doing this, you'll see that you're going to start knowing how to be on your own and how to be comfortable being on your own. And when you get comfortable on your own, life gets really good. Trust me, it gets good. Because you are making stronger decisions, you're picking better friendships, you're picking better romantic partners, because you're coming from a space of not needing someone in your life. So that is one of the most important lessons I've learned in 2024. Let's get to the next one. So the second most important lesson that I've learned in 2024 is to set boundaries. Setting boundaries is extremely important, because the idea of setting boundaries makes you question how do you deserve to be treated by others. And different people have different boundaries. This is why different people have different quality relationships. What's okay with some people is not okay with some other people. And each person is responsible for setting his or her own boundaries, right? So setting boundaries is important, because the minute someone crosses your boundary, you let them know this is not okay with you, and you move on. And you go and look for the people that know how to treat you accordingly to the way you think you should be treated. If you don't have boundaries, you're constantly accepting people to treat you in any way. And if you don't have boundaries, you will most likely be taking advantage. It's important to know what you deserve and to figure out in your own time what you want from people. How do you want people to treat you? How do you want your friends to treat you? How do you want your partner to treat you? Because those things are the basis for you to set boundaries. Boundaries are extremely important. Boundaries will dictate the quality of your relationships. Okay, if you don't have strong boundaries, it's very difficult to line up with friends that are really good for you, because you will attract people who don't treat you well, because you don't know how you deserve to be treated. You have not figured that out with your own self, and so you're tolerating everyone who treats you in a way that you might not be okay with. So boundaries are extremely important, and boundaries are the foundation of your relationship with your own self. One thing that's very important with boundaries is that you cannot compare your boundaries with some other person's boundaries. Each person is completely different, and you have to determine what your boundaries are. It's a personal journey and it's a personal preference, and it's not something that you need to compare with anyone else's. It's a work that you need to do for your own self, right? Now, a very important thing regarding boundaries is that it's not just about setting the boundary, it's about making sure that you enforce your boundaries. As in, meaning when someone crosses your boundary, when someone is not behaving in the way you think you deserve to be treated, then you should let them know and say, this is not okay with me, and move on with someone else. I emphasize the idea of moving on because you're not responsible for how people treat you or treat other people. If someone is not ready to treat you the way you deserve to be treated, you don't have to change them. You're not in control of changing someone else. They have to change because they want to, and people do this at their own stage and pace in their lives. You're not in control of changing anyone. You're no one's mom unless you're raising your kids. But in terms of friendships and relationships, you're not responsible for the choices someone else makes. So you're responsible for knowing what your boundaries are and enforcing them so that you can surround yourself with people that treat you accordingly to how you think you should be treated. The next lesson that I've learned in 2024 is to be patient. How important is to be patient, because so many times we have goals, but we don't have the patience to do the work and not get the results we want quickly. How important is to do the work towards your goals, towards your ambitions, and have patience to allow the journey to develop at its own pace, right? It's so important to do the work and be patient, because the reason why most people fail in their goals and their ambitions is not because they don't want to do it. It's because they don't have the patience to do it for long enough until they see long-lasting results on their work. Good things take time, especially when you have to change a previous habit that might be toxic. Maybe you're trying to quit a specific type of food. Maybe you're trying to quit smoking. It's important to allow the time you need to become a different person so that you don't crave the same things you used to. Good things take time, change takes time, and making sure that you achieve your goals takes time. Sometimes it takes longer than you think. And most people quit on the way. They quit on the way because they're not changing as quickly as they wished, because they're not achieving the goals that they want to achieve as quickly as they wish. It's so important to be patient, to do the work daily, but to be patient. Okay, so the next lesson I've learned in 2024 is how important it is to take care of diet and to exercise. I mean, this is something that you all already know, but do you really understand how impactful is the food that you're eating? How impactful it is really on the way you're thinking, your health, your well-being? I don't think we realize. I don't think when we excuse doing toxic habits or when we excuse drinking something that's not good for us, I don't think we're conscious of how much that's actually hurting us. It's hurting us much more than we think. I mean, there's plenty of research on the importance of diet and exercise, but I have been able to experience how much more energy I have when I eat foods that are right for me, and how much more tiredness I have when I eat things that are not right for me. I mean, it's a complete change, not just in my overall disposition and energy to do things, but also in my mentality. I am so much more stressed when I eat the wrong foods. When I don't exercise, I am so much more anxious. I am more reactive. And how important it is to just make sure you don't excuse not going to the gym or not doing exercise. Make sure you actually prioritize your well-being so that you can live your best quality life. Now, the last most important lesson I've learned in 2024 is to always try to learn something new. How many people just think they just have it all? They think their life is absolutely perfect. They have it all figured out. But then they have health problems. In reality, there's so much more that they can get out of their own lives. There's always room for improvement. Always. Even when your life is good, my life is good, I can't complain. And yet I'm still working to make it even better, because I know I can get better, because I know I can be even better than I was yesterday. It's having that mindset of learning something new. How can you make your life better than it was yesterday? How can you be better than you were yesterday? There is always room for improvement. There is always room for being better, for doing better, and doing even more than you did yesterday. So always have that growth mentality. Always try to improve, work on yourself. I've been doing a lot more inner work this year. Inner work means working on myself, working on my mind, working on my thoughts, working on my well-being, my thinking, my decisions, my relationships, my friendships, everything. I've been working on personal development a lot more, because I see that it's changing my life for good, and it's making me grow so much more as a person, but not just internally, but also in my career. Because when you work on becoming your greatest version, you grow more confident, you feel more capable of doing your stuff, you achieve your results quicker, faster, you stop making that many excuses, you are stronger and better to live an even better quality life. There is always room for improvement. There is always room to learn something that can help you. So keep that mentality, because that's one of the most important lessons I've learned in 2024. There is always something to improve on. There is always something I can improve on in my life. So those are the lessons I've learned in 2024. I hope you find them useful. I think they're extremely good lessons, things that you can apply in 2025 to make your year amazing, and some things you might already be doing. Leave me a comment if you are doing already some of these things. I always love to meet new people who are doing similar things, who are thinking similarly. And I am gonna make a new video. I'm gonna make another video in January about New Year's resolutions. So I hope you guys like that as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have an amazing start of the new year. Happy 2025.